Okay, today is Monday, April 28th, and it's been right at a month since I started doing this. I'm going to try to label this video for new people if, I don't have anybody watching right now, but when people do, maybe start here, because I think after a month of doing it and some of the things that have happened, I have a little bit better understanding of what I'm trying to do. I said when I started that I was doing this for me, and I am. I'm logging my progress. And, if you look from the very beginning to now, I've almost regressed, it looks like, at least in terms of results. But psychologically, up here and here, I know I've grown. When I was this morning, my mom sent me something that a cousin of mine who's going through a tough time dealing with a rehabilitation and seems to be doing incredible. And I'm definitely praying and thinking about him and everybody that's there with him. But he sent her something, and it was about humility and being humble, and that is so important, because without that, you have to be humble enough to know that you don't know what you're doing. And that's the first step to gaining the eventual wisdom that you need to get yourself out of it. And again, as I've said in the beginning and continue, I will never consider myself a teacher, a leader, any of that. This is just sharing. No matter when you're watching this, no matter what I've achieved at that point, right now, April 28th, 2025, I am from the outside looking in, a beaten down man, someone who for 53 years has lived, even at times knowing what I needed to do, but have always beat myself up. So being humble isn't that. That's not being humble. Being humble is humble to yourself, to your ego, to say, hey, I don't have this figured out. And you can't expect anyone else but yourself to do it. You can't expect your family. You can't ask other people to do this with you, because they can't. And everyone has their own path. So I don't believe that I'm right and anyone else is wrong. This is just what I know for me. I believe, I feel it deep in my heart, that it's what I need to do. And, so some of the things that you need humility, but you can't beat yourself up. So there's a yin and yang to that. You need discipline, but you also have to be able to relax. So you need discipline of relaxing. So it's very easy, as what it seems like the world around you is crumbling, to just, it's like you're drowning, you start flapping, when the best thing you could do is just relax and try to float. Try to float first, and then slowly begin to move forward. It's the same concept. And something I was thinking about over the weekend, and something that I heard said in one of the talks that I was listening to, is you need to look at your life as a mirror, the events of your life as a mirror. And before I get into that, that's not to say that everything bad that happens you brought upon yourself. If something horrible happens to you, if someone hurt you, it's not your fault. That doesn't mean that at all. It means that what you consistently attract into your life, you're attracting. That's what that means. So your life is a mirror. And most people, me included, fall into, when things are good, you're happy, and when they're bad, you're not. I mean, that seems natural. That seems like, well, yeah, that's reality, right? But you have to step outside of reality, because if you're trying to create a new one, you can't continue in the same reality that you're in. And what I mean by that is, it's like looking in the mirror and expecting to see a smile before you physically smile. It can't reflect back to you what you don't put out. And sticking to the mirror concept I mentioned in another video, you have to get to a point where you can look at yourself and really love the image in the mirror. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be a liar and say that I'm there. I'm not. And when I say that, I'm not talking about physically. You may be stunningly beautiful, handsome man. That's not what that's about. It's about loving the person in the mirror. You know, it's not easy at all. And when you start, you might just have to do like I do and say it, and it kind of feels really kind of stupid at first, silly, dorky, whatever you want to call it. And you know, I'm beginning to see the good. You know, I know that there's good there. I wouldn't be doing this if there wasn't. But it's important that you maintain that feeling as much as you can. Throughout the day, you're gonna have times that you get knocked down. You can't fight that either. You have to take it in and then just release it and say, okay, yeah, that happened. Maybe I even caused it, but I can't dwell on it. I can't. And it will pass. And there's something better. There's something good. You got to maintain that. You know, again, the discipline of controlling your thoughts, because you're either going to control your thoughts or they're going to control you. I heard a statistic or study one time saying that, you know, you can go an X amount of days without food and many days without water even. You can't go that long without breathing, but you can go a few minutes, and some people can go longer. You literally can't go a few seconds without a thought in your mind. You just can't. And it's important, though, when you meditate, to try to release. A lot of people practice transcendental meditation, and that's exactly what that is. It's releasing the thought. That's hard as hell. I've tried it, and I'm not gonna lie, I've never been successful at it. I've had maybe very few seconds glimmers where I was able to. But in meditation, when I'm meditating on something, I'm getting much, much better at focusing on that. So what I've done is I'm creating kind of a daily outline of what I'm going to do. You know, I've said over in almost every video that I wake up in the morning, my first few minutes are dedicated to gratitude, thinking about things that you're grateful for. And I'm not going to lie to you, you're going to forget at times. You're going to wake up and automatically think about something else. That's going to happen. Get into the habit, and after not very long, when those other thoughts come, you'll release them and go, wait a minute, I haven't done my morning. And this doesn't have to take long at all. So you do that. You just list things. It could be the most basic thing in the world. Doesn't matter. The fact that you woke up, be grateful. And I know, I get it. There's times when you go, God, I wish I wouldn't have. You can't think like that. But you also can't beat yourself up if you do. Let it go and say, no, God created me. That's blasphemy. God told Abraham his name was I am. And that is you. You say I am stupid, you're blaspheming. So don't do that. Don't wish that you were dead. Don't wish that God's creation is not there. You know, then you can meditate a short period and pray. Try to pray with gratitude, so you're combining them. And then the third is an imagination. And as you imagine, pray and feel gratitude, because everything is imagination. Everything started, if anything you can think of was once imagined, including you and the entire universe. Our Creator imagined us into existence. And no one fully understands that. So if you try to do these things, there's steps. There's steps that you can take. And at the very least, after a few days of doing it, you're going to feel better. You're going to realize that you can make yourself feel better. And then you're going to start noticing things. And I'm not going to lie. You know, bad things are going to still happen. Look at my previous videos and you'll see. But I'm at a place now where I've accepted what's happened last week with my car. There's nothing I can do about that. But what I can do is I can control today, April 28th, and I can deal with it and do the best that I can. And then tonight when I go to bed, I'm going to do the same things that I do. And another thing that I heard add in, and I probably throw too many things in these videos, and you know, hopefully I'll get better at this as I go. But kind of as you recap your day, do a revision. So, hey, when I drove through the water and damage the car, think about that, but go, you know, I won't do that again. I learned a lesson. There's a positive. There you go. So just try to turn it into something. Anyway, I really appreciate you watching. If you're watching, leave comments. It can be good or bad. It doesn't matter. If you want to vent at me. That's cool. There's nothing you can say to me that is going to be worse than the things that I've said to myself. I guarantee you that. So I can take it. And hope you can, if you want, you can go to my other channel, my Gym Rat. That's strictly about weight training. But at some point, I'm going to try to combine the two, because I feel like the concepts of what I've used there have really, can apply here. And if I had done it sooner, I'd probably be in a better place. But I'm on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and it's all under Gym Rat. And just grateful for my wife, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have any of that, and I wouldn't be doing this. So, I hope that everyone knows that if no one else out there tells you they love you, I mean, I do. I don't know you, but I do. You're one of God's creation, and I do love you.